Yo, what's good, y'all? Good morning, America. Good morning. I just want to say that after watching some things on the internet, and I felt that a lot of this stuff was nonsense, and that, I don't really want to speak on it, but I see, again, that we have these major media outlets that are just continuing to put out this BS. Now it's getting to the point where we're even putting out fake stories. Like, did y'all hear about the Druski and what was it, Cash Money, Birdman thing? And you remember back in the days when like beef like that was actually really real and people actually used to take your chain? Now they're actually faking beefs and faking taking chains, while on the other hand, the Breakfast Club is reporting on that. Crazy, man. What a crazy time in hip hop where we are now creating fake beefs. You got a man who snatched a man's chain who's clearly on camera with the vocals. We all know that security cameras don't really have audio. But let's just go ahead and say that supposedly Birdman in today's world of the internet, you can't even get people to answer their phones, let alone these two people are in the studio, just happen to be at the same recording studio at the same time. First of all, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but what the heck is Druski or Druski? What is he doing in a recording studio in the first place? What is he doing in a recording studio in the first place? And that's going to bring me to the other thing about how we're going to talk about the Grammys in just a second. But let's just see this dumb video.
I swear to God. Oh, come on. No. Go.
Can we stop it right there? What terrible acting. What terrible acting. If you're going to do that, at least make the acting believable.
But when TMZ is included, people believe it.
Oh, my God. TMZ's they're in on the joke.
TMZ is not a reliable news source. All right, yeah, this is just stupid. Let's go to the Grammys, yo. Okay.
And here's some of the nominations. Ice Spice has been nominated for 4 nominations. Best New Artist, Best Rap Song, Best...
When Ice Spice has a nomination for the Grammys, I can see how she can get the nomination for Best New Artist, but these other categories that she's in, let's take a look real quick. Record of the Year. SZA, I believe, better take some of these, but we all know that Taylor Swift is going to take a lot of these, but I feel that this could be SZA's moment. She might clean this up. Let's see here. Where are we going to go? Album of the Year. So that's Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year. Let's just focus on the hip hop. Right now, we're just going to focus on the rap. Producer of the Year, Hit Boy. Wow. Okay. Metro Boomin. Hit Boy and Metro Boomin. I agree with Hit Boy. Songwriter of the Year. Okay. Best Pop Performance, Best Pop Vocal, Best Pop Dance, Best Dance Electronic Music. Okay. Skrillex is up in the mix. All right. Best Rock Performance. All right. Like I said, we're just going to get straight to the hip hop. Let's just go straight to the hip hop. Best R&B. Summer Walker. That'll be dope if she wins. Okay. Best Rap Performance. Baby Keem, Kendrick Lamar, Black Thought, Koi Leary. She should not be up there. Drake and 21 Savage. And Killer Mike featuring Andre 3000. Yes, of course. Best Melodic Rap Performance. What the heck is that? What does that mean? What is that category? Best Rap Song. Doja Cat, Attention. I'm not sure which album that was on. If this was it on her latest album that she just dropped? Because I thought her latest album was pretty dope. Yeah. Drake, 21 Savage, Rich Flex. Nah, come on, man. Come on. Killer Mike. Okay. Now, this is the part that I have an issue with. This is the part right here. Lil Uzi Vert's song, Just Wanna Rock, is not a rap song. To be honest with you, I don't even know what that was. Like, when I would hear that song come on, all I would do is just see all the people start doing that stupid dance. You know what I mean? And I mean, I guess it's a cool dance. You know that little dance, that everybody does? And that's it. It's a song that automatically hypnotizes people and puts people like in a zone. And that's all I would see people doing. I wouldn't see them rapping the lyrics or listening to the music or like, damn, yeah, this is a thought-provoking song. Wouldn't a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Song require something that takes a little bit of a thought process? Y'all ain't gonna agree with that? Are y'all gonna say that a song doesn't always have to have a message? Okay, you're probably right. You're probably right about that. But let me ask y'all this. Does a song that wins a Grammy have to have a message? I would think so. I mean, if we were out here giving awards, I would want to give an award to a song that actually had something to say, not a song that's just, I just want to rock, yada, 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 da, 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 da. Not even saying any words, man. Not even saying nothing. Just not saying anything. Just putting people in a hypnotic state and just keeping people, yeah, whatever. So that gets the nomination for Best Rap Song. I think you can do better, Grammys. Like Lil D was saying on Sway, you could do better. I love you too much that you can do better. Best Rap Album. And we're going to get into that in a minute, because shout out Dee-1. Is that his name? Rapper Dee-1. I actually was making fun of you back in the days because, come on. But, yeah, just want to make sure that's him. Okay. But, man, I got to say, what he was saying on Sway is kind of true, though. He was saying some real stuff, which I want to get into. Funny how there's no nominations of Christian rappers in here. I don't know if I really consider Kanye a full-on Christian rapper. Best Rap Album. Her Loss. Drake and 21 Savage. Come on. No. Come on. Not at all. Not at all. Killer Mike, as Charlemagne said, which I do agree. Yes, Michael should win. Nas. I mean, yeah. I love anything that Nas does. That's my favorite rapper. But it's just kind of like getting a little repetitive at this point. Metro Boomin, Travis Scott. I did enjoy the Utopia album. Again, though, was he saying anything on that album? Absolutely not. He was not saying anything on this album. So other than the fact of SZA, these Grammy nominations just look like, and like some people said, man, it's a popularity contest. I get it. But what I want to take it a step further is I want to look at how are these artists getting nominated and how are these artists getting selected. And to me, as I've said before, but now I think I want to dive a little deeper into detail on this, is that all of these artists are on the same record labels. Let's have a look, shall we? Universal Records are labels and brands. These are the labels that are owned or under the umbrella, shall I say, of Universal Records. Do you see? Def Jam, EMI, and Interscope? So wait. Def Jam and Interscope, not to mention Island, which is basically the same thing as Def Jam. That's another thing. A lot of these record companies are all really the same thing. Okay? Not to mention Virgin. But, they're both under the same umbrella as Universal. So, let's just go over real quick, who's on Interscope, Geffen, and AM Records, which I think is pretty much everybody. And let's just go over real quick who's on Def Jam. I don't even think we really need to go to Capitol, but we already know that Capitol is just, come on. It's one of the biggest labels ever. But let's see. Okay, so we got Dr. Dre's label, Aftermath Entertainment. I want to see the artists that are on here. Dreamville. Oh, okay, so we all know Aftermath is like Eminem, Dre, 50 Cent, etc., right? All the biggest artists. But then you're going to tell me that Dreamville with J. Cole and his whole crew is under the same umbrella? So do you guys see what I'm saying here? Is that a lot of these companies are owned by the same people. Now, not to mention that, isn't TDE also part of Interscope? Which is SZA. Okay. 10K Projects. Ice Spice's record label. I mean, they make it hard to find because, people ain't doing research. People ain't doing their research. That's why. Her label right here is 10K Projects. 10K Projects, in case you don't know, is distributed also by Polydor, which is also under the umbrella of Universal, I believe. Didn't we just see them right here? Yep, right here. Boom. Polydor. Let's click on them. This is like a label that people just don't really know about, but they've been around probably forever. Yep, musical history from the 60s, okay? They're not even really telling you who's on this label. But yo, so you do your research. 10K Projects is all connected to Universal. So do you guys see that this contest is really just a bunch of artists that are on the same record companies, which pushes these artists on these record companies? Because let's be real, once you win a Grammy, not only is it a great feeling for the artist, so I understand from the artist's point of view, they want to win a Grammy. Who doesn't want to win that award, right? It's like the most prestigious award you can win for music or for audio. All right, so who doesn't want to win that award? I'm not talking about the artists. What I'm talking about here is the companies and the major labels and how they keep the agenda rolling while they keep the money rolling. And that's what I'm seeing. And I think I want to go back to what Sway was kind of doing with his show with Dee-1. And shout out Sway, shout out Wake Up Show. I worked with Sway. And I'll say right now that I know he always said, yo, you got to get on the inside first and then change it from within the inside. And I think that that's what he's doing with bringing rappers like Dee-1 on his show, because he understands that it's time that we start paying a little bit more attention to conscious rappers. And it's so interesting to me. Well, not really, but as you look at these Grammy nominees, you know, for best rap album and all that, most of these rappers, Drake, 21 Savage, other than Killer Mike, Metro Boomin, and Nas, other than Nas and Killer Mike, these rappers ain't really talking about nothing. I mean, I listened to the Utopia album a few times, you know, beginning to end. And I got to tell you that when I listened to that album, it was cool. He had cool beats, cool rhythm, but he wasn't saying anything on that album. He wasn't talking about nothing. He ain't talking about nothing. Just partying, sex, and drugs. That's all. That's all that whole album was. That's all I got from that album. That's just the party album. What was the part?
Who they ain't never even met before. You heard me? And who are like, I'm ride or die behind this artist or behind, or they love to hit me with, well, you only talking about female artists. You're not talking about male artists. Man, I call anything out from anybody, male or female. You know what I'm saying? My first big song was what?
About men.
J50 and Wheezy.
Yeah, the three giants.
Yeah, come on, man. So nah, at the end of the day, there's some people who just get upset with the fact that I will boldly stand for righteousness, even if it means that my quote-unquote popularity will suffer, because I wasn't put here to be unanimously accepted by the whole world. If I'm doing all that little code switching to where I'm cool with everybody and everybody love me, then nah, something ain't right. I want to be known for being a bold man of God who talent could stand up next to anybody in the industry, but who was not a slave to any of this, which is why I wanted to tear this up on air.
Hold on, man. Get a close-up on that, man.
Yeah, I got to tear this up on air.
Get that close-up.
Just, this is liberation for people at home.
So he tore up $1. At first I thought it was 100, but let me go to the part where he was talking about mental health in hip-hop. That was an interesting part right there.
Thing you talked about a while back was the mental health of the culture in the community. Talk to me about how do you view it right now, and how are those ways we can improve it?
All right. The mental health of hip-hop is in such a state of cognitive dissonance having to be practiced on a daily basis, meaning we are actively creating and consuming content that deep down we know this is not healthy for us. This is not what we need to be putting out there into the world.
I'm so glad that he said that, man, in this interview. I'm so glad that he said that in this interview, because I was thinking exactly the same thing, man, that when we see these videos, like for instance, I just saw this video of, let me see if I can find this real quick. Yeah, I saw this video that No Jumper, of course, put out on Twitter of these kids who appeared to be black robbing an Amazon truck. And yeah, the Amazon person's just there. And it's like, this is what we glorify. Again, these are the type of videos that we laugh at. Like you see the person even put the laughing emojis right here, right? You're going to go ahead and put those laughing emojis right there like this is something that's funny. And I'm telling y'all, we need to stop watching these types of videos or laughing at these types of videos. Now, I know that that's going to be hard to be done on Twitter, but I think that it's something that we should stop consuming. So I was really happy that Dee-1 had said this because I was thinking the exact same thing about that.
But because it's so catchy and because it has a dope beat underneath it, we continue to push it out there. You got managers who are taking advantage of their artists. They know their artist is on a fast track to hell. They know their artist is on a fast track to jail or to the graveyard, but they want that commission off of that artist. And they know, like, I'm going to keep exploiting them because the world seems to be infatuated with seeing them push themselves to the limit. And as a manager, as an OG, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to collect my commission. That is a mental health illness that we have. That's almost like, that's predatory, you know what I mean? And for these artists, think about it like this, yo.
I'll say this, man. I'll add to that. It's not just that it's predatory. It's also that it's slavery. It's mental slavery that's being pushed. It's also psychological warfare that people need to understand what's going on. And the reason why you don't like that type of music that came out during the golden era is because the mainstream media has pushed the agenda to not listen to that type of music and to say like, that's trash, that's whack. They even putting out rappers that disrespect what came out back in the days. But what do they do for rock stars? What do they do for them? They all pay tribute to the Beatles. They all look up to the Rolling Stones. They all look up to Led Zeppelin. They all look up to all these bands that came out before them, and they all show respect to that. But what do they do in hip-hop culture? Nah, they make you trash the 90s. They make you trash the 80s. They make you trash, Sugar Hill Gang and all them. They make you trash all those rappers, and they say, nah, that ain't what's real. That's not dope. This is what's dope. This is what's hot. That goes back to the Charleston White interview, too, where he started saying that Suki White is one of the nicest, or Sukiana, whatever her name is one of the nicest women that he ever met. We already know this, man, that they're playing characters. We already know. Let me just go.
What we think. So they put me in this movie, right? Me and Sukiana came up to me probably, third, fourth day filming, and she was saying, man, we all were so happy that you was going to be in the movie.
That's fine.
Homie, that nigga, I ain't never felt love, homie. So she don't know I've been studying, just watching her, trying to see if she really, her mannerisms. Homie, listen.
Okay, we gonna cut it right there. But I'm just saying though. So from his point of view, he's saying that she's a really nice woman. For y'all that don't know, Sukiana, right? She's this female rapper that just came out, still young, right? And it's like she's this female rapper that's kind of starting to get big now. And, she plays this hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I think she was on all fours at the BET Awards on the red carpet. So, it don't get more ratchet than that, right? But it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to go into all the pictures because they flagged my other video when I did that. But I'm just saying, though, that it's like he said that when he met her, she's like the nicest woman, and that character that she portrays on social media is not really who she is. But I think we can kind of see that. I mean, after seeing some interviews with Sexy Red, you see that these are all just characters that they're playing. So I completely see. I mean, I've already seen it. What Dee-1 is talking about the labels exposing these artists who they know are not in a good mental space and will do anything to get the bag. But it's great that we have artists like Dee-1 coming on a big platform like Sway and saying this.
In real life, if you do or glorify bad things, there's death, there's jail time, and there's dishonor waiting for you.
Yeah.
In the rap game, if you do or glorify bad things, there's money, fame, popularity, and legendary status waiting for you. That's why everybody want to be a rapper. They're like, oh, I could be a rapper and glorify all this negative stuff and be looked at as a legend and get paid and popular off of it. But if I do that in the real world, and if I don't have the umbrella of saying I'm a rapper doing this, then I probably go to jail or get murked behind that. Or
That's real.
That's what I mean when I say the mental health of hip hop is in just a crazy place. Cause you either got commissioners, that's record labels. It's the 3 C's. It's creators, consumers, and
yeah, man. I mean, he's yeah, man.
Commissioners. Yeah.
He's dropping the knowledge right there, man. I gotta say, man, after hearing him say those words, I was like, yo, man, respect to Dee-1. So yeah, man, I mean, that just goes back to what when I see the Grammys right now, I also feel that, like I said, I'm not really up on some of these other artists, which I need to get up on. Like when I look at their rock categories or their pop categories. I mean, let's just check out the pop real quick. We got Billie Eilish, Doja Cat, that was dope. Miley Cyrus. Why? Olivia Rodrigo. I've been hearing a little bit about her. Taylor Swift. Yeah, like none of these girls are really ratchet except for Doja Cat. But Doja Cat is like trying to be also hip hop. The Grammys, man. It's we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm definitely down to see more of what this brother got to say about the industry, the record industry. I mean, we're all aware of it. And I think that right now, conscious rap is starting to make a comeback. I do believe that because I think people are getting tired of the music. I mean, did y'all see that interview with Ebro and Offset? And Offset's trying to talk about how the music it's just repetitive. But it's funny because y'all was making that same type of music. I mean, yeah, y'all had some hits. But come on, man. And I mean, it's just sounding like just repetitive. And I think everybody is getting tired of that. And that's the reason why record sales in hip hop or record sales in rap music have declined over the last, well, they said this year. I'm really thinking it's been the last few years, but we'll see. And it really brings me to the point of the fact that we're seeing people like Nas to this day still getting nominations just goes to show that RZA said the same thing about the geniuses or the masters of the second generation of hip hop. Like there's different generations of hip hop. And like he said, people are saying that these rappers or these producers are the greatest, but he inspired them. They didn't inspire him. Let me go to that part. Let's go to that, man. We got to go to that because that is, I influenced them. They didn't influence me, but y'all calling them the greatest. That almost makes me think that I kind of believe in a way that he was talking about Kanye. Because if you listen to Kanye's first album, College Dropout, a lot of the samples on there and the way he was flipping those samples does sound like some of RZA's work or RZA's influence, I should say.
Have been inspired by Wu.
Oh yeah, here we go.
That because if you take the content of even some of your greatest, the people who they say are the greatest, have been inspired by Wu. But they didn't inspire Wu. Okay, I'm gonna be straight up. They didn't.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah. And
That's
even, I could say, I'll go there and say about the producers as well. They didn't inspire me. I inspired them. They went back and started like, try this, that. You know what I mean? So, but arguably, yeah, you could definitely say that because if you take the content of the lyric, right, and you remove it and you put it on a piece of paper, you hand it to college kids to read and study, then you will say, holy crap, these dudes were saying a lot. Right? Maybe they didn't flow it. Maybe it went past your ear. Maybe you didn't even catch the pre-existence of the mathematical biochemical equation is a manifestation of rock, plant, air, fire, and water, which are in the basic formation of solid, liquid, and gases that form the land masses and the space catalyst and all this matter that exists in the dense third dimension. Right? Maybe you didn't catch all that.
No, maybe not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they ain't talking about that in music no more, man. They ain't talking about that. They ain't talking about that in hip hop, man. Like, what happened, yo? What was the change that happened from rap music that was on that elevated consciousness that came to where it is now? I'm going to tell you right now, man. A lot of y'all might talk trash and be like, man, we ain't trying to hear all that lyrical, miracle, whatever stuff. But I bet you this, a lot of people of color would be in a better state of mind right now if the music was like that. Are you gonna tell me that there ain't no mind control going on? You gonna tell me that there ain't no mind control going on? Look at the Grammys, man. Did y'all see the list of the Grammys? Did y'all see the best rap album nominations? We had a state of emergency. Drake and 21 Savage with Rich Flex. Drake and 21 Savage with Rich Flex get a Grammy nomination? I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all. something's up, man. Something's up. Psychological warfare. Yeah. But on that note, I'm gonna go check out that Wu-Tang album.